Hodgkin.
Hi, my name is Marnie Hodgen. I'm a candidate in hopefully the next District 8 representative for State Board of Education District 8. Real quickly, Mr. Stevens, I'm not a stranger to this board. You've heard me say my name every other month. You've heard it in the press. You've heard other people say my name, yet you continue to say it wrong. It's Hodgen with a soft G. If it helps, you can think of it as a phonetic combination of the word ha, as in ha 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 funny, and the alcoholic spirit gin, as in a gin and tonic, ha gin. I hope next month you can respectfully pronounce it correctly. Moving on. Last year, through public records request, my opponent was caught disparaging parental and public input in her emails, as well as colluding with activists, even though she promised the public activists weren't involved in the standards. Fast forward to this next email where she asked Ryan Four if school districts have the right to opt out of the standards and if parents have the right to opt out their children in the classroom when the standards are taught. He responded, local school districts have the ultimate decision to what is taught in their districts related to health education, and local school districts are responsible for adopting policies on students opting out of content. Local control. Something that Deb said she supports at the recent Millard Board Business Association Forum. However, in an email to Lisa Schultz, she expresses sentiment that is a stark contrast to her recent public comment saying she supports local control. Her exact words in the email to Lisa were, FYI, this is disappointing, ugh. Every school district has to approve it. Sounds like she was disgusted that local school boards get to have the final say on health standards. Also at the Millard Forum, I was surprised to hear board member Neary say she was against the introduction of puberty blockers to school children. The health standards include introducing fifth graders to puberty blockers as part of the health curriculum. Board member Neary is on record voting for the health standards and is also on record of voting to not permanently reject them. How can you vote for something you are against? She also said she's against biological males competing in women's sports and having access to women's locker rooms, but once again, public Deb and private Deb appear to be two very different people, as the following private messages reveal. Here we have private messaging with Deb and a progressive activist. The activist asked, why won't you stand up and defend the rights of our trans youth to play in the division they identify as? Deb responds by saying, I actually thought I did stand up and say that. I use different language than you, but everyone knows that is what I'm saying. I don't use language that incites people to close their ears. Deb goes on to say, I promise to be a stronger voice after November 8th. I will never run for another office again, so I'll be able to say things for the right reasons. Sounds like you're trying to keep the wool over your constituents' eyes, Deb. But I'm here to take it off and reveal the truth. You are for allowing biological males to play on female sports teams and for males using young women's locker rooms and consequently causing detriment to the advancement of young women's athletics and risking potential harm of our young women. Lastly, the stated goal of State Board of Education says the board will use assessments to measure and to improve student achievement and to inform instruction. But at the recent forum, in response to me bringing up Nebraska's proficiency scores dropping below 50% in 2019, Deb said proficiency scores don't tell you anything about student achievement. Not only does this statement go against one of the very strategies listed on the NDE website for necessary measurement, but it is also incongruent with her vote that authorized $2.8 million in assessment services. Why vote to fund something with taxpayer money if you don't find it useful? Why make the students and teachers jump through so many hoops for standardized testing if it doesn't tell one anything? I also want to make it known to the public that the most recent assessment scores were given to school districts this past week. However, the recent scores have been embargoed and will not be released to the public until after the election. I'm anticipating them to be just as low or even lower than 2019, understandably due to COVID. However, it is absolutely an attempt at hiding vital information from the public by the media until after the election. As a mom, homeschool teacher, and candidate, I can tell you proficiency scores do matter. And when I'm sitting right there, I promise to everyone in this room that I'll be transparent and that what you see is what you get, unlike doublespeak, deceitful Deb. With my help, our state board will be focused on quality education and not social ideological experimentation. A vote for me is a vote to right this ship out of its dismal trajectory and to give our children an education focused on core subjects while exposing children who may not be college bound or able to afford college to the skilled trades so they have opportunities to be successful. I thank you for the time to share the truth, and I look
Thank you,
forward to
Marnie.
serving District 8 in
Amber
the new
Parker.
year.